Alright, all you pre and post Fright Night Midnight drivers out there, welcome back to Under the Radar. And this week's Stun of the Week comes from not only Insane Dude 4 with his stunt bluntly come out, but also comes from Oleg Spry with their said stunt, Crazy Jump Red Car. And the reason why we picked these two stunts? Well, with one person who actually was able to hang their arm on the top of a bus stop without breaking it after flying through the air about the same length of a small football field is impressive in our book. And on top of that, the guy who was able to pull off one of the slowest gyroscopes we've ever seen in history is something definitely to marvel upon as well. And I got a feeling a Mountain Dew and a Klondike bar is waiting for both of them in the mail by next week. But before they get their special sweet treats, folks, we have a sweet treat for you fans at home, cause it's time for us to get ready to rev our engines for this spooky month to see what sort of scary death matches and tracks we can find on it along the way for another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week. And the first track that we have up comes from the creator SJackie777 with their said track, The Temple of Boom. And this track automatically reminds me of a combination of Legends of the Hidden Temple with a little hint of, I do believe, any Indiana Jones movie you've seen in the past couple of years. And the best part about this track, folks, is that this track turns from a racetrack to a water track, back to a racetrack once again, with even a parachute part of it that you would have to go through just to get the checkered flag. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there is to make sure you pick a fast motorcycle so you can get ahead of your competition for this said race. Because if you don't, there's a high possibility you're going to lose this race. And as a little bit of a warning, if it turns into a GTA race that requires weapons on the scene, I definitely make sure you learn how to fly and serpentine with a parachute, because if you don't, yeah, you will lose the race around the parachute part if you don't. You know, just an early warning. And the next track that we have up comes from the creators This Be with their said track, or Last Man Standing map, known as the Phantom Drain, which for some strange reason not only sounds like a movie, but sounds like a movie that would be for Scooby-Doo. But let me just tell you this much right now, Scooby-Doo has no involvement with it, but instead it involves an 18-wheeler with a shovel on the front of it, where all of you will fight in the center of this said arena, and for the one who falls in the center, there's a possibility that you can grab a couple of pipe bombs to spicing up the battle just a little bit. So, the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there is, make sure you stay in a car as much as possible, because the second you lose your vehicle, and if you don't have a pipe bomb on hand, there's a high possibility that you could get jousted by one of these 18-wheelers of doom that are scarier than the ones that you would see in the movie Duel or Joyride. And that's saying a lot. And the next death match that we have up comes from the creator J.O. Rockstar with his said death match, Melee Rumble. And in this Melee Rumble, that automatically reminds me of the Royal Rumble for some strange reason, with how many competitors can compete in it with melee weapons. That reminds me of the Warriors as well. The only tip of advice I have for you fans out there for this map that includes, and I kid you not only a whole bunch of vehicles suspended in the air, but also Molotovs, machetes, pool cues, knuckle dusters, nightsticks, and more weapons to take out your opponent than you can think of. Yeah, my only tip of advice is try to fight your way toward the center to grab those grenades to try to take out your opponents. because he who holds the grenades holds all the power. Because those vehicles that are surrounding the arena, one good throw and you can get a multitude of kills in this tiny area. So go for those grenades if you can. Because with how many people can join this, which according to what the maestro told me, about 23 to almost 30, yeah, you're gonna need a little bit of luck to make your way to the center. And the next track that we have up, or according to what the maestro told me, capture map that we have up, comes from the creator Shelby GR with her said map known as Walking Dead 5. And in this said capture map, you face off against your team to try to get the last provisions before the zombies take over. And would say good luck under there, and with this map, why yes, you will need luck for this one, because with the amount of zombies that are surrounding the provisions and the fact that you have to climb a ladder to get them, yeah, it could get ugly in a hurry, and especially with the fact that there is a limited amount of vehicles and time working against you for this, you're gonna have to definitely work as a team to make your way to the other side to get those provisions. So the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there is to make sure you have plenty of armor and health, and teamwork makes the dream work. Whatever strategy you decide to go through with, make sure you follow it to a T, and you should win this said capture map without getting bitten by the undead. And besides that, folks, the last but not least track that we have up for this week, that's actually a track, folks, comes from the creator Shelby GR once again with her said track, 3D Pennywise. And I'm not gonna lie to you folks at home, this has to be one of the creepiest maps we've seen to date, which centerpiece features a giant oversized model of Pennywise himself. Well, at least his head, which is creepy enough for me to say, yeah, that's frightening. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there, and the same thing that Shelby GR would say in her recommendation page, ZA21 not recommended for this said track. Every other car is good for you to use except for that one. And also, besides that, a little tip from me to you at home, be careful of the turns on this said map, especially when you're fighting against your opponents for first place, because it can get ugly in a hurry, and even though the map says you'll float too, you won't float if you hit that turn though at the wrong angle. Just warning you at home, watch out for that turn at all costs. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week. And I guess with that said, we might as well head back into the music, and when we return, we'll be back with another edition of yesterday's news right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.